Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast, episode number 132. I am Ryan Alexander. With me, as always, is Anthony DiNardo. DiNardo, I need answers, and I need answers immediately.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
So, how does this around the 412 Fantasy Football League, what's the playoff situation look like here? How many are making it? Is the North Shore 9 in?
I don't know. I stopped watching last week when I lost again.
I'm beating, well, some of us actually, have a good team.
What's that?
I'm beating Joey Bag of Donuts, so shout out to him. A 90%, I think, victory rate here, and I think I'm in the playoffs. Or are you aware of how many teams make this playoffs?
I think it was 6.
Okay. Well, we're all like in one division. So it's like, I don't really know. And there's like,
oh yeah.
And I'm tied.
Like
I'm tied with
three.
like a million guys or something.
Yeah. Cause there is 2 divisions, right?
No, there's one.
Oh, just one giant thing.
It's just 12 teams and
okay.
Geddes and Wagner to Kutcher at the bottom. They're at the way. So here's the thing. I was 7-5 going into this week, which is a top 6. And I'm beating Joey Bag of Donuts, who's also 7-5. So I got to be in, right?
I guess. I don't know. I don't really care.
Unbelievable. This is why the North Shore 9
I'm done
still
with
around.
fantasy football. I'm just a statement player now. That's all.
A statement.
I don't do fantasy football. I just make statements.
Yeah, you were killing it this week at making statements.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to really mention any names, but 'cause we don't get paid or anything. But
that's right.
Basically, I'll put it this way. I am your hockey go-to. For all your hockey needs, come to DiNardo from the North Shore 9.
Yeah, who would have thought that? You had the wrong sport all these years. You know your hockey.
Fantasy football, get out of here. Bring on hockey. No, for everyone that's wondering, right, if you don't know, Around the 412 had this contest going on with a statement site, I guess, to put it that way.
Yeah.
And the contest was, so they had like contests running, and if you won a contest, you got into like the contest winners one. So, I mean, I won the first one, which was a Steeler game versus Jacksonville, came in first place, took that, got into the tournament of champions to find out who wins these Steeler tickets. So I go into that one, and Ryan, lo and behold, that one's a hockey game. I don't know hockey. It was the Penguins versus the Avalanche. That's the most hockey research I've ever done in my life. And I won it. I won the tournament. I won the Steeler tickets because I won I guess to be fair, I tied.
Someone tied me.
So then I won the tiebreaker. So theoretically, I'm 3 for 3 in this site. I'm your champion of statements. And as mentioned, I am the hockey expert. I'm your super genius. Get out of here, everyone else.
Yeah, you text me that night, and you're like, well, I did the research on the hockey, and you're like, I'm actually watching the game, too. I was like, whoo. I was like, all right.
Exactly. That became my Philipponi, which, by the way, I did watch the Pitt game last night again. I was going to watch it, but, of course, I was waiting on Pony's take. But, yeah, that was the first actually hockey game I think I watched from, beginning to end.
Speaking of
not
Pitt,
even one of the Pens playoffs, not even last year's. Maybe
it was actually a good Penguin game too. It was a really good hockey game.
It was really good because I was winning through most of it. I mean, as the game just progressed, I'm like, knocked off that statement. I only missed one, which is a 4-pointer, and it was nice. It was very rewarding.
The statements,
and you know how I did all my research?
How was that?
Analytics. It's amazing what you can learn.
There you go.
In sports by numbers. I didn't even have to watch a damn hockey game. I didn't have to see shit. I just looked up some analytics, and I won a contest.
That's right. They got analytics in hockey now. They're in football. It's a thing.
It's amazing how those things actually work.
It's officially, math. Imagine that. Speaking of math, we are going to have an accountant on a little bit later, Ethan from Twitter.
Come on,
from the Point of Pittsburgh. We'll have him on in a bit.
But this is a sports podcast. What do we need an accountant for, Ryan?
Oh, we need an accountant. We're going to talk Bob Nutting.
We need an accountant in my life. That's what we need.
Right. Well, we got to watch because
I need to get them nutting numbers in my bank account.
Shout out to the Pod Hub who's spending all this money. We got to get a budget going.
Yeah, that's right. So almost a week from now, next Saturday, we're going to have that meetup. So I'm telling you, if you have a podcast or know anyone that does a podcast around Pittsburgh, hit us up at the Pod Hub Network. We're having that meet up at the Foundry from 2 to 4. And, I mean, it is essentially just going to be for all types. If you're novice, beginner, or whatever, just, I mean, we're going to talk. I want to get some stuff going around Pittsburgh, get that podcast community going. We can all learn from each other and grow. So definitely 2 to 4 at the Foundry. And as I mentioned before, I have appetizers and I got your first drink. And so just come to wipe out my bank account if anything.
See what I mean about this budget we need? DiNardo's just buying drinks for everybody.
Our guests would not approve of this. I'll put it that way. That's why I need one.
Maybe we can play the co-owner Michelle in rock paper scissors again and win a free drink.
Maybe
that was awesome. The Foundry.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, that's right. Because I won when we did that last time.
It was live on air, man. I won. It was me that defeated her, I believe.
I think we all played.
Well, whatever. You can't play. Well, I guess you could, but we didn't. Anyway. Okay. So let's get on. Let's get on with the show, and we'll find out next week if I made the playoffs or not. But I think I did. So here's a situation, DiNardo. Last year, the Pirates signed 0 free agents. Everybody was upset. Everybody, I mean the Yinzers and local media. This year, the Pirates technically have signed 2 free agents. And nobody likes that either. Everybody's upset. So, last week we talked Jung Ho Gung, which the Pirates brought back, not in the option, but a free agent deal. And now, Lonnie Chisenhall is now a Pittsburgh Pirate, DiNardo, signed to a 1-year, $2.75 million deal with a bunch of incentives. These incentives, man, I'm telling you, I love this stuff. So,
yeah, but it does make sense.
No, it does. Well, the plate appearances, excuse me. So he gets an extra $250 each for 250 plate appearances, 300, 350, and 400, and then he gets an extra $500,000 each if he hits 450, 500, 550, and 600. And then there's some. What's the other ones like World Series MVP?
Well, I was going to say we just spoke about the other player that got those incentives.
The Matt Joyce.
Right? Matt Joyce, and now Lonnie Chisenhall gets them. I had to laugh when I saw that too. I was like, we just spoke about this, but I don't know. Maybe he'll hit that. Maybe he'll be the MVP.
Yeah, why not? Hey, you think
why not him?
If things go right, why not? Who better than Lonnie Chisenhall to win MVP? So, but it just cracks me up. Like I guess that's like the new thing now in incentives. Like yeah, we'll give you that. Sure.
I mean, why not though?
Right.
If any one of your players hits that incentive, it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, are you not going to pay out someone $500,000 to hit it?
You'll pay it up
if that's what it takes to sign you. Jesus, whoever. That's in everyone's contract.
If that was like the breaking point, like, no, I'm out unless I get this.
Right.
But I mean, so Lonnie Chisenhall, I mean, former Cleveland Indian. He's only played with the Indians. He's been that kind of mostly outfielder, but he's bounced around. He's played third. He's played all over the outfield. He's played first. A couple years ago, he played first. So a little bit of flexibility. Definitely started off as a utility player and, kind of bench player, not playing every day. 2014, got his most, playing time, basically 142 games. Health has been an issue. Obviously, last year he only played 29 games. But the Pirates get him on a pretty relatively cheap deal. But it's low risk, high reward. And it's somebody that can plug in while Polanco's out, speaking of injuries.
Right.
And hopefully they're not just he doesn't get injured and then we have an injured mess in right field. But it's somebody that can plug it in right field. And then even when Polanco comes back, if Chisenhall's healthy and he's producing, then he can kind of bounce around and play left and first and maybe third and who knows. So what do you think about this? I like this.
Right. Well, I was going to say, we'll get to the hot takes and the Yinzers predictions and such later. Let's actually talk about Lonnie baseball right now. And I really like this deal. I think we spoke about him in our one of our games we played, and I think we're at Trick or Treat, and both of us said that he would be a treat.
And where's Ken Rosenthal going to give us the credit for that?
So we said he would be a treat. And the reason for it is like he's exactly what this this club is looking for. You know, I mean, it would have been great to have like a Curtis Granderson or such, but you know, we both felt that this would be a treat because he's probably going to come on a really cheap deal, which he did. A lot of incentives, which is good because if you leave up the incentives, then you're doing a good job. You know, but you know, he does have that injury proneness to him, but when he's out there, he does perform. And you don't really need an everyday player. Like, that's the thing with the Pirates. They're not out there needing their number 3 outfielder. Right. They're really needing a number 4 who, in the meantime, for however long Polanco's out, can fill in. You know, so we're not signing Lonnie Chisenhall to also play 500, you know, innings, at-bats. You know, we only need him for however, you know, maybe a month, full-time player, and then as our 4th outfielder, bench bat, such like that, going forward. So I really like this deal because you're not putting on that wear and tear on him every day for the most part. You're keeping him fresh. And he produces, Ryan. He produces.
Yeah.
Over the past 3 years. Okay, yes, I understand limited plate appearances. But over the past 3 years, 783 plate appearances, Ryan. The guy's batted .291. He's got on base at .347. He's got a 113 weighted run created plus. That's 13% better than league average.
I had all
you
the
got
same
this
numbers
guy
written down. I
for
hate you.
$2.5 million.
Right.
That is called value. That's what a team like the Pirates really need right now. Because, you know, there's no sense to spend $10+ million it's going to take to get like an everyday outfielder for someone who's going to sub in and play for the first, you know, however long, and then be relegated to a 4th outfielder.
Yeah, and Chisenhall, I mean, he's got pop. You know, like you mentioned, last year you can't really go off of, you know, 29 games. The year before, 12 home runs. He had 13 in the year that he played the most. He had 11 the year before. I mean, he's got some pop. It's just always been the health. And like you said, we talked about it. It was a treat. And, you know, a lot of people, so, you know, all right, well, the Pirates traded Luplow, and then they got Chisenhall. Why don't they just keep Luplow then and play him at right field? Like, I get that thinking. You know, Luplow, obviously, you know, Chisenhall's he's 30 years old. But it's a 1-year deal. Like I said, it's low risk. And Luplow was, you know, controllable for a lot longer. But, I mean, like you said, you just mentioned the last 3 years for Chisenhall. Well, you know, 113 WRC plus. What we've seen from Luplow in the majors, 190 plate appearances, 194, 274, 359 slugging percentage, 72 OPS plus. I mean, it hasn't been good. We know the pop is there. And I think Luplow, if you give him a right field spot for, you know, 160 some games, 150, whatever, I think he's hitting 20, 25 home runs. But what's his average? What else does he provide you? So, you know.
But on top of that, Ryan, you know, you're saying he hits for that power. That's still potential. You know, it is potential. Yeah. And the reason that I do like this deal is the fact that for once they didn't settle. Like, they didn't look and say that we have Jordan Luplow, so we're not going to go out there and explore the free agent market. We're not going to go do this because we are going to settle on our internal options. They didn't do that. And as a matter of fact, they used Jordan Luplow in a package deal for a trade to get an asset of something else that we needed. So it's I mean, they used Luplow to actually patch up something else. So they upgraded one position. Say what you say about the upgrade. I mean, I know it's not great, but it's still a guy that plays everywhere. I mean, we got that guy in our bench now, a depth piece. And then they went out and got Chisenhall, which is a guy that, I mean, when he's healthy, you know what he can bring. You don't know what Jordan Luplow can bring. And so far, what he's shown us, he ain't bringing it. You know, for his career in 190 plate appearances, he's got a negative .3 WAR. The offense hasn't been there. The defense, so-so, you know? So it's like, if you went into this season saying that Polanco's hurt, so we'll just go in with Jordan Luplow, how the hell do you think everyone's going to react to that? Oh, well, there's the cheap Pirates. So they go out and do something, and it's, well, why don't they just use Luplow?
Right. You can't win. You can't win.
Right.
But...
No, I really like this deal because, as mentioned, like, think about Matt Joyce. What did Matt Joyce bring in that year? That's what you need in Lonnie Chisenhall. And Chisenhall can provide that. And, like, that was Matt Joyce's outlier. You know, for his career, that was the best, like, the year he's ever had. You know?
Yeah.
Like, Lonnie Chisenhall can come in here and do what Matt Joyce did.
Yeah, I mean,